Hey, what's up? So today I am taking the FPS game starter kit off the Unreal Marketplace and I'm going to be remaking one of my old projects. This project used a handful of assets, but aside for the FPS kit, the main two that it relied on is the easy build asset and the endless level generator asset. So shout out to SB, Easy Systems, and Slightly Esoteric Studios for today's video and project. I originally made this project because I found myself playing way too much Rust, as one does, and so I started making one of my own in order to scratch that itch but still feel productive, kinda. So in this video, I'm only going to be adding the easy building system to the FPS kit and show how I kind of already migrated over some of the different guns that I've created to make a basic start to what I used to have. I won't be doing a full tutorial, more of a walkthrough as I rebuilt it. The docs and tutorials that the devs have for these assets, they're really great, so you don't really need me to do that anyway. Alright, well, let's get to rebuilding. So it needs that Apex plugin that I marked there, a tag on the landscape saying is landscape, as well as overlap events, and then I want to make some children of the existing code that the kit comes with so that I don't break anything that's set up by default. This way I can always go back and start over with what I was making without having my project being completely broken. For the player controller class, we need to add an inherited interface for the easy build system, and then we're going to add and rename the three components that come along with it. After that, we just need to copy pretty much the entire player controller logic over to ours. We'll refresh the nodes, create the missing variables, and then add in the three missing functions. Not really sure why these three don't copy over, but it's easy enough to do. And after that, we are good to go. Just testing it out with the default settings first, and I can see that I can grab the sword, I move around, everything seems to be working just fine. Okay, now to show you with the building added onto it, and no other changes to the inputs or anything else. Just as default, it works almost perfectly, as is. We have the snap style building that you find in Rust, and different strength materials. They have different requirements to build. pretty cool. Between these two things, we're maybe like halfway there. Okay, so now to show you the original for what I'm trying to rebuild here. So it didn't really have much more in the original project besides the player character was replaced with a little something more interesting. I made some meshes or some items in the game have chaos collision so that it would break from gunplay and from melee attacks, which was pretty cool. Took a little bit of time. Where I went wrong, I think, was when I was adding in the vehicles. If I even try to load this test map anymore, it just crashes. But weirdly, it still plays decently on my endlessly generated map. So we're going to load that one up and see that it looks a little more like a real game. Now I have the foliage on my map piece generating at random, and the map pieces spawning in are also generating at random. So I think it takes a little bit to load, which is why we see this black space originally. I'm not entirely sure what I can do about that besides like mimicking Rust's long load screens so that they're just there before the player starts. But I have 3 map pieces, as you see. There's one that's like a rocky kind of hillside, one that is a forest area, procedurally generated, as I mentioned, and the last one's a small city block, a few buildings, and some AIs spawning around it. This is pretty much it, so let me know what you think. Should I keep working on my Rust clone? If I do, I think if I take it slow, I won't end up breaking it again, but we'll see. Either way, I think it's pretty fun to play, but I'm curious to see what others think, so let me know in the comments.